Hello everybody, this is Jim Feist in Las Vegas. I have a very big week coming up. This is my college underdog play of the year. Now, I actually have 7 underdogs that I've bet this week in college football. So why do I pick one game out over the other? Well, in every case, I'm looking for a number edge or a situational edge, or in some cases both. Now, I also try to look for a team that's favored that may have had a number of games that were very tough, perhaps physical, perhaps emotional, perhaps both. Injuries are always come into play that you need to look at. And then I'm looking at the underdog part of it because obviously you're supposedly playing on a team that's not as good as the other team, at least according to the line. Well, if you have a situational game where the favorite might be looking ahead to something, coming off of something that was very emotional, physical, maybe a lot of travel, maybe they're now coming back home and they're favored by too much, or maybe they're on the road and they're favored against a team that a lot of people are undervaluing. Well, I've found a situation like that out of the 7 underdogs that I'm playing. I found a situation like that where the team has had a number of tough games. And the underdog is definitely undervalued. They have a good winning record. They have strong quarterback, strong receivers, good offensive line. Coaching is strong. And they have a situational edge, either road situational edge or home situational edge. I'm not going to give up too much here as to where I'm going with this, but that's why I picked this game out of the 7. And believe me, it's not that much greater a play than the other 6, but it is a game that I personally will bet a little bit more on because of those things that I just spelled out to you. The same factors go into play when you play a favorite. And if you're looking for an overall game of the year, well, this is a underdog game of the year. When you're looking for an overall game of the year, you then, of course, can throw in looking at the favorites as well. That's not the case this week. We're looking at underdogs. This particular game, as in all my, well, not all, but 90% of the time when I pick an underdog, I'm looking for a team that actually can win the game. So, in this case, I have everything pretty much going for me along those lines. Now, I also have a very big package this week. I have 3 games going this weekend. My College Dog of the Year, which is what I've been talking about. I also have a 10-star Inner Circle Steamroller and a High Roller Platinum game. Now, all 3 of these games are online for sale. It's $650 to buy all 3 of those. But you can get this special, all 3 games, for $29, and all you have to really do is call 1-866-841-1655. Now, there's been a big move this week on some of the football games. Now, one of the games that I really question, over the years, MAC games, that conference, has had some very strange line movements, and I've been doing this for 45 years, so I've seen this before. Buffalo plays at Kent this week, and I made Buffalo 7. When the game opened, and this is not on my card, by the way, because I don't really understand what's going on, but I'm giving you something to look at. When things seem too easy, you got to be a little careful. When it jumps off the card at you, you better back up and question what you're looking at. So Buffalo opened 3, and now Kent is 1. Well, Kent is not a very good football team, and Buffalo, at the MAC level, is a very good football team. So I talked to some other odds makers and handicappers and bettors, I know a lot of them, so I called them up and I said, what do you think about this Buffalo-Kent line? And pretty much we all agree that Buffalo should have been a 6 or 7 point road favorite. So the game opens Buffalo 3, and then immediately the game goes down to 1. And now, when you look at the lines, I'm looking at it right now here, when you look at these lines, Kent is now 1, or pick. So instead of having a 7-point road favorite, you now have a 1-point road dog in Buffalo. I don't understand that. Normally, an average bettor would just jump on that and bet Buffalo and say, hey, I got myself a 6 or 7-point edge. Well, the market is making this line what it is, and they're doing it for a reason. And there's a lot of programs out there. There's like 300 schools that you got to keep track of, and not all the time, you don't always know what's going on, what the inner workings are. So in this particular case, I always advise myself, because I have a lot of self-talk and discipline, this is a kind of game, unless you know what's going on, stay away from it. Because the value is not in taking the team Buffalo where you made it 7. You're not getting an 8-point edge because there's something in this scenario that isn't public knowledge. I don't know it, and the guys that I've talked to are all professional, either handicappers, odds makers, or sports bettors, and they all don't know what's going on either. So in that case, and that's one of my tips to people that want to know how to bet sports, is when it looks too easy, back up, put a big roadblock up, stop sign up, and back away for a while. And maybe this week, unless I learn something between now and game time, which is Pacific time, 12:30 Saturday, I'm not going to do anything with that game. But I do have a college underdog of the year, a 10-star inner circle steamroller. I'm doing very well this year in college football. I'm also doing extremely well in the pros. And high roller platinum games. So all 3 games, $650 value online. And you can get all 3 for $29. It's a special offer. And you call 1-866-841-1655. And we'll have a winning week with these 3 games and many others as well. So thank you for listening, watching, and we'll talk to you soon.